Hey, this is me, T2G, Tommy Too Good, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
That's ISO? Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my posters, say now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on, yeah. Fucking my posters, say now, they be lost in the sauce, yeah. Took a loss, that's your loss, yeah. Had to get my point across.
This is the Top Gun Brandon Beretta, and I'm here on the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast, the best podcast in the Midwest wrestling scene. You make sure you tune in every Thursday night, 8:30 sharp, to see faces like me, faces like Joe Benetti in the future, and any of the top talent coming out of the Midwest.
There's just different things that I've always been really into, and I've just kind of like now melded them together into what Christian Rose is. I always loved the idea of a multiverse, even before Marvel made it, very trendy, where there could be different versions of you, and, your world ends constantly, and there's a new world every day. And I like saying that professional wrestling is a world that's made up of other worlds. So, Christian Rose in this promotion is this guy. Christian Rose in that promotion is that guy, but these are all just different variations of the same person, just in a different environment or a different world. I know that was very rambling, but Christian Rose currently is a guy with a little bit of a god complex who likes violence and likes to drink. That's what Christian Rose currently is.
So I'm glad you brought up the multiverse thing. So you're a variant of the many versions of Christian Rose we've seen over the years.
Right. And it's a thing where it's like, like if you're a villain in some worlds, you're still you. If you're a hero in other worlds, you're still you. You just have to kind of change certain aspects of who you are. So yeah, Christian Rose now, whether I'm cheered or booed somewhere or whatever,
Kelsey Magnolia, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag. Kanpai.
Dude, this dude Hoodie for months has been like, oh, they just keep talking themselves into holes. Dog, how long is that narrative going to keep going before we look back on the actual history of it all, right? You said that before the street fight. What happened at the street fight? Premier up, as per usual. We're used to seeing that, right? And he's like, oh, God, they're young, and they post clips of Shawn Michaels because they think they're like that. Bro, we are like that. He doesn't know what that's like because he's always been the Genetti his whole career. So he doesn't know what that feels like, bro. So I would probably get triggered if I was him too and I saw the Premier posting a bunch of gifs of fucking Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? Golly, dude, he doesn't know what that's like. But when you have a tag team with two Shawn Michaels, me and Bishop, two Shawn Michaels here, two young stars, it probably does rub them the wrong way. I'm sure, you think about it, it's there's people out there that you don't like, and no matter what they do, right, wrong, or indifferent, you're just going to be a hater. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm like a grade A hater. I'm a top S-tier hater. And I think that's all that comes down to, bro. There's a million reasons Hoodie shouldn't like me because everything I do is better than the way he does it. And so he's just a hater. And that happens. It is what it is. But, dude, I don't know. When you're comparing apples and oranges, I'm like a fine, crisp apple plucked straight from the orchard, and he's like an old, rotted orange that can't serve anybody, right? That's the difference there.
What's up, everybody? It is one half of the beautiful people and 7-time women's world champion Angelina Love. And aren't you lucky? You are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Hey, I'm Marcus Buff Bagwell, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag, baby. Check it out, and remember, no matter what, I'm buff, and I'm still the stuff. Ha 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 ha!
And now, CR Media presents the I-70 Hot Tag with your host, Chaos Chase, and the real Josh Elliott.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Chase, aka CR Media, as y'all may know me, and we are here for another episode of the I-70 Hot Tag, episode 72. And I am joined here with my friend, my co-host, the real Josh Elliott. Josh, how are you this evening?
I am fantastic, sir. Yeah, this is episode 72. I can't believe we are slowly approaching episode 100. Slowly. Should be a fun show tonight.
Absolutely. Matt Stockdale in the chat says happy Thursday. Appreciate everybody joining us right now, everybody watching. Much love to you, whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, whatever. Leave a comment, let us know you're there. If you're not into talking too much, that's okay. Just put some emojis in the comments. Like I've always told you, it lets YouTube and Facebook's algorithm know that you like watching the show, so it pushes it out for other people to watch it. Yeah. So Josh, we've got quite the show for y'all tonight.
We do, man. We do. We got the Prodigy Aaron Helms on the show. Going to talk to him about some HCW coming up. But before we get to any of that, let's kind of run down our socials. You can follow the I-70 Hot Tag on all social media platforms. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're also got an Instagram. We've got a Twitter. We've got a TikTok at the I-70 Hot Tag for all the local independent wrestling news. And yeah, I'm at the real Josh Elliott if you want to follow me on my personal page. I don't talk much wrestling on those accounts, but the I-70 Hot Tag.
CR Media 1988, guys. Not too active on there. Been really busy. But hopefully maybe eventually we'll start posting out content on there again. I don't know. We'll see. I'm doing good enough just to make this show every week. Want to give a huge shout out. I wasn't here, of course, but want to give a huge shout out to Kelsey Magnolia, our guest from last week. If anybody was wondering, I would much rather have been here interviewing Kelsey than at Arrowhead watching the Chiefs lose. I digress. If you guys missed the interview like I did, make sure you go check out our YouTube page, at the I-70 Hot Tag to watch that video on demand, to watch that interview with Kelsey and any other interviews that you would be interested in. Like I said, episode 72. I think we've had, out of the 72 episodes, what do you think? 68 guests? 67?
Yeah, the first handful we didn't have any, and then we've had maybe 3 since.
We've had tag. As we saw in that clip with the premiere, we've had tag teams on, so you got to think about that as well. So I'd probably say about 68 or 70 guests.
Yeah,
on, right.
You're right.
Yeah. Other than that, Josh, I don't have anything else before we get into this. Do you?
Just want to give a big shout out to our main event sponsor, Big Daddy's Donuts. 3 locations, 1 in Belton, 2 in Raymore. If you are in the South KC metro area in the mornings and you're in the mood for some donuts, go hit them up. They're fantastic. If you get anywhere after 10 a.m., we say this every single week, most likely you're going to have either hardly any selection or no selection. They might be sold out. So get there early and get there quick. They are fantastic. Probably the best donut shop in the Kansas City area. So, yeah, that's all I had.
I wanted to highlight this.
Our guest.
Matt Stockdale says it will be okay. Kansas City will beat Jacksonville.
We'll see. We shall see.
Well, guys, you guys know the drill. I always let Josh introduce our guests. I'm not going to change anything this week. Josh, go ahead and tell everybody who we got on this week.
Yeah, so we got a great interview tonight, guys. Great guest. We saw him about a month or so ago at the first Heartland Championship Wrestling show. He's going to be there in Wichita for HCW Air Capital Brawl against Remington Rhor in the main event. He's also going to be back in Leavenworth, Kansas, taking on Big Country Matt Stockdale. Please welcome our guest tonight, the Prodigy Aaron Helms. What's up, sir? How you doing?
You're muted. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Weird. Well,
and
anyway, that was Aaron Helms, guys. We're gonna take a mid-shit now.
What happened was Aaron Helms found out that Matt Stockdale was in the chat, and he said, "I'm out."
He's out. I'm out. You know, his audio was working pre-show, so there he's back now. Let's see if
countdown, I could hear the audio and everything, and then when it switched over to you guys, I lost all audio.
Sorry about that.
You're back now, though. You're back.
We're back.
Yes,
we're back.
How you doing, sir? Man, here to hit hard.
How you doing tonight?
Man, it's a good night. Just got done with my workout here a little bit ago, and mentally prepped, ready for Air Capital Brawl next weekend.
I like it.
Yes.
Aaron, the whole purpose of these interviews, this show, is to get people more familiar with professional wrestling in Kansas and Missouri, the Midwest, if you will. So I start off every single interview we do by asking the same exact question. I want you to tell us and our viewers, who is the Prodigy Aaron Helms?
Well, the Prodigy Aaron Helms is a former XWE heavyweight champion and former XWE tag team champion. And I think if you look at the cards in Kansas wrestling, especially, but Kansas and Oklahoma and northern Texas, over the last 6 to 7 years, have been a staple in that scene. And so that is, if you look at Kansas wrestling, I think you'd be hard pressed to find heavyweights that, are as consistent and as reliable as the Prodigy Aaron Helms. So that's who I am for for Kansas. I represent that heavyweight style, that old school, territory style that a lot of guys have, wanted to replicate. And I think I do a pretty decent job of trying to blend that.
Absolutely. I know you've wrestled quite a bit in Kansas, and where, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling since 2014. Or, sorry, 2016.
2014, okay.
16, sorry.
Okay. So what made you want to become a professional wrestler? How did you first break in and start training?
Well, so, and I'm sure you've had other people talk about like their backyard days and everything. When I was a little kid, like me and my buddies, we did it on a trampoline in our friend's backyard, in middle school and stuff. And then we transitioned into, let's get rid of the trampoline because that's lame, and let's just do it on the ground. And then we started doing it. We built like our own little ring, and then we actually ended up meeting up with a guy who, that's actually where I met Drake Gallows, was in the backyard. Big time Oklahoma wrestler there, but we wrestled for a place called BYEW in Park City, Kansas. And the owner of the house had bought a pro ring off High Spots and put it in his backyard. And they were traveling and doing shows, all over the Midwest, but he liked to just do shows for his neighbors and family and friends and stuff. And 14, 15, 16-year-old me was like, cool, let's do it. And, started learning my first bumps there. A couple years later, he ended up moving. So when I was about 18, I kind of fell out of it. And then by happenstance, I met Billy Simmons, who was the head trainer at XWE at the time when I turned 21. And, we actually met over Xbox Live, just bullshitting about pro wrestling and getting to know like where we were, that we happened to be near each other. And he told me that he ran a wrestling school. And I was like, shut up. No, you don't. Because like, I know pretty much all the guys in this area. Like I keep up with most of the guys because I was friends with Drake, who had been doing big things in Oklahoma and had looked a lot at the Oklahoma scene. But I was kind of oblivious to the Kansas scene that there really wasn't much of at the time. Now it's an emerging thing. There's 8 or 9 companies that are all doing very well here in Kansas. But in 2016, there was 2, and to say any of them were doing well is really overstating it. I mean, that's just bold-faced lying to say that any of the Kansas scene was doing well at the time when I first came in. Now, but we ended up meeting over Xbox Live and figuring out that we lived near each other or whatever. And he invited me up to a show, and I went up to a show there in Salina, and they were doing a lot of cool things, man. They had good production. They had, a nice sized crowd. But they were like, Billy had just got there. So the guys that were running it beforehand were kind of, up creek without a paddle kind of thing. They were doing a lot of the things right. They just hadn't figured out how to put all the puzzle pieces together quite yet. And when I got in there, that's where I was like, okay, man, well, we can do this. We can make it work and start learning. And we've been chasing the dream ever since.
I like it. So Aaron, we watched your match on Monday from World Class Revolution versus Ray Leon. Talk to us about that match.
Man, that was my first time getting to wrestle, first or second time, I don't remember, but getting to wrestle at the Cotillion. The Cotillion is always such an absolutely beautiful venue. It's very special and important for me because the very first time I ever saw professional wrestling live, with me and Remington Rhor, my opponent, next Saturday at Air Capital Brawl, we actually went to a TNA wrestling show in 2007 at the Cotillion Ballroom. My dad took us. We had not front row tickets, but we were only about 3 or 4 rows back, and we got to see all the greats. We got to see Kurt Angle and AJ Styles and Abyss and all that. And to get to wrestle and perform, in a venue where so many other legends had got to come through was so important to me. And I can't say enough about Jerry Bostic, the promoter of World Class. What a stand-up gentleman he is, and just an absolute class act, and just a phenomenal human being. Beyond even the world of wrestling, the realm of pro wrestling, he is one of those guys where I really think he would give you the shirt off his back, and that makes him a very rare breed in this industry. So that match was special to me, getting to come home and really be one of my first matches in Wichita, because most of the Kansas scene had, for whatever reason, shied away from the Wichita market. You'd seen stuff in Hutch or Salina. Larned has always been good. And then up in the Kansas City metro areas, there's been a lot of stuff out there. Hoisington is another great town where they draw big crowds. But for whatever reason, Wichita just, wasn't there. There wasn't a lot of action in Wichita. And when World Class was starting to come and put on just absolute bangers of shows, and me getting an opportunity to do it, especially with a young, incredibly talented guy like Ray Leon, I was like, hell yes, let's do it. And yeah, I ended up coming up short in that matchup, unfortunately, but Ray is a hell of a talent, so I'm not going to take that away from him. But I'm very proud of that matchup. I think it showed our physicality and what we could do, and the hometown crowd was very happy with it. So
yeah, we really enjoyed the match. And I remember when I went to their Facebook page, World Class Revolution, they had like a lot of big names that have rolled through there. Their main graphic had I think it had Sting on there, Jeff Jarrett, I think, and some of the top guys have, at least at one point in time wrestled a match at World Class. So that's pretty cool that you got the opportunity to wrestle there.
Yeah.
So,
Jerry's always been a big believer of me, man. Like when I was really young in the industry, not that I'm not now, but like my year 1, year 2, Jerry was like, "Hey, man, come with me." He got me on shows down in Ardmore, Oklahoma. I got to meet a lot of superstars that I grew up really, really liking and wanting an opportunity to meet. And so I've had a chance to meet some heroes and be on cards with some really cool people because of Jerry Bostic. So I'm forever grateful to him. He is a true friend in the business.
Awesome. Appreciate Tyler Cooley coming in. Herb Simmons is in the house tonight. Herb runs SICW over in South Illinois. So you good, Aaron?
Yeah.
Your video went out. There we go. I wanted to ask you about your nickname. You got, you're called the Prodigy Aaron Helms. I wanted to ask you kind of where you first came up with your character, the Prodigy.
So the Prodigy Aaron Helms was something where it came from the backyard days. It actually was a football thing with we had our whole defensive line had nicknames or whatever. And me and Remington Rhor, we were on opposite ends of the defensive line, and we were, we both had our little nicknames or whatever. At the time, he was called the Executioner, and I was the Prodigy, and I was a loudmouth, arrogant little SOB, and all my coaches knew it, and I was not afraid to talk smack. And if I wasn't getting a hit, Remington definitely was. We were kind of a tag team package there on both ends of the line, and we were there to hurt offensive players. And so it came from playing football at a younger age and just our love of pro wrestling, and then those developed into characters in the backyard days. And when I got back into doing it professionally, I was just saying, I said, look, there's a nickname I've always had. People know me by it in my hometown and, just around. So I'm just going to roll with it and go. And, I think that it's one of those things where, Prodigy means like a young, great talent. And I hope that when people watch my matches, that's what they think.
I apologize if you mentioned this already. What football team, what school did you guys attend?
We were both Derby alumni.
Derby. Okay.
Yep.
So speaking of, you've talked a lot about Remington Rhor. Obviously, you guys went to high school or went to school together. Aaron,
yeah.
Do you like violence as much as Remington does?
So we have different styles of violence. Remington is very much more like he's going to be your death match guy, blood and guts, and he
has blisters,
razor wire
and scar tissue sticking out of his back.
Yeah, like that guy is all about the thumbtacks and razor wire and all that. I'm going to beat you up with just my fists. Maybe a folding chair here, ladder match there, table or whatever here, but no, I'm here for all fists. And so we both do enjoy violence, and we enjoy pain, and we enjoy that level of intensity. And I think that's one thing that bonds us as friends is that our belief that if we're going to do something, it needs to be done with intensity. And so I think that's why fans have, should have big expectations for next Saturday's main event, because getting the opportunity to go against a longtime friend, you keep your friends close and your enemies closer or whatever. Well, in this case, he's going to be both. So I'm ready to beat the piss out of him. And I know he's ready to beat the piss out of me. And it's been a long, long, long time coming.
I like it. So my other question for you, Aaron, is going to be, we kind of interested in finding out where all you've been over the course of your career. Obviously we've seen a lot of you in XWE, and, a couple of PCW, but tell us about the other promotions you've worked for and how far you've traveled to go.
Yeah. So over the last couple of years, I haven't traveled as much as I would have liked to. I definitely did slow down and take more of a managerial role as far as like actual managing the business and being part of the logistics of everything, which slowed me down and made me focus more on KWA events, XWE specifically, PCW, UUCW, and then AWR when they were running. I did do some stuff with them as well. But, when I first was out, I was doing shows every single week with IZW down in Lawton, Oklahoma. I was doing stuff with World Class quite a bit. I've wrestled for Mid-States Wrestling. I've got to work with Mid-South Wrestling Alliance down in Oklahoma City and BCW. Done some stuff up in Chicago area and Nebraska. And so, I did some stuff out with Rocky Mountain Pro. So, I've got to travel and go to some different cool places and meet a lot of really cool people. Recently got to, I say recently, but like right before COVID, because COVID slowed everything down, to a screeching halt. And that was really when I was finally in a position with my regular life where I could get back up and operating and travel the way I wanted to. Had a lot of opportunity where I was going to be in Tennessee quite a bit, and I was going to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area quite a bit, and then everything shut down. And unfortunately, when we got back into it, I met my now wife, and so with that whole process, we just with getting engaged and planning for a wedding and all of that, that slowed down traveling to, hey, I've got to do a couple shows a month, but not like I want to. My next year, 2024, I'm really hoping to get back down into Oklahoma quite a bit more. I want to go back down to Amarillo. I used to go down to Top of Texas almost weekly with a carload of people, and I loved Top of Texas. It was a great time. And so I love, the Amarillo scene as well, and I'd like to get back down into that region. It just is like, man, every time I finally started getting back to a place where I was like, okay, the job is letting me, have weekends off so I can travel more, and things are just lining up to where it's not like I'm just out here, chasing the circus instead of paying the bills. Life found a way to, as the old Roddy Piper quote goes, like, you think you've got all the answers and then they change the questions type thing. Yeah, that's basically what happened to me. So,
I wanted to ask you, you've wrestled quite a bit in Kansas, and you said you worked for Mid-States a couple times. Is there somebody in the course of your career, I guess not in the course of your career, but someone you've not wrestled yet in our general Kansas, Missouri area, Oklahoma maybe, that you haven't had a chance to work with yet that you hope to get an in-ring opportunity with at some point?
Yeah. There's a couple guys. There's obviously my dream list of opponents, and I think one of the guys that I really have an opportunity to work with, I'd love an opportunity to work with Jason Jones, just one-on-one. I think we've been in some stuff where it's like been tag team or whatever. But a one-on-one match with Jason Jones is definitely a dream match for me. I think we both have a similar mindset on how wrestling should operate. I'd love to work with Colt Kilbane and have an opportunity to wrestle him. I think Colt's an absolutely phenomenal talent and just a heavy hitter who, again, like me, has a brain for how this should work and what the fans want and what we want out of it. And so I would love to work with him. I think there's a lot of really young, talented guys coming out of the HCW training facility, the Bears Den with Billy Simmons. So I think that, you're going to see some guys debuting here pretty quick that I'd love an opportunity to work with. And then, up in the Kansas City metro and everything, there's so many talented kids, man. So many talented guys. I'd love an opportunity when he comes back from his ACL injury, I would love an opportunity to work one-on-one with Leo D or Kit Reaver. So those are two guys where, I've followed their career for a long time. I think we could have magic in the ring if given the opportunity.
Agreed.
So I think when you look at dream matchups and stuff like that, then you really have to think about because there's guys that absolutely phenomenal people that I think we would have fun together as backstage or whatever. But I want to look up what would be interesting stylistic matchups. When I had you guys look at that matchup with me and Ray, that's one of the things that I really enjoy with that matchup is our stylistic differences are there. Me being more of a super heavy guy versus Ray with his light heavyweight, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu style background with a lot of strikes and stuff, where we're both throwing different, throwing strikes and having that combat like blows. It's different in how we're doing it and how we're approaching it. And I think like a guy like him with that level of athleticism versus a guy like me with my more paced offense makes for good stylistic matchups that create a really fun environment and give us an opportunity to showcase some really cool things we can do. One matchup you asked me and I completely forgot about, but I'm really excited about, is me versus Matt Stockdale on November 4th in Leavenworth, Kansas at Heartland Championship Wrestling. Get your tickets online. But, that's a battle of true heavyweights right there. You're talking that dude's 440 pounds or whatever. And he thinks he's going to beat me? Absolutely no chance. Prodigy Aaron Helms is going to show why he's the hardest hitting heavyweight in all of Kansas history.
Well, Matt Stockdale, his ears must have been ringing because your ears must have been ringing because right before you started talking about it, Matt Stockdale said November 4th is going to be a heavyweight dream match. Like I said, we started talking about it, and but that's November 4th, and we'll obviously as time gets closer, we'll talk more about that.
Right.
We're gonna have Matt Stockdale on here soon. But Aaron, I want to talk to you about HCW still. You kind of talked about it a little bit, but I kind of want to get a little bit more in detail with you, brother. HCW Air Capital Brawl against Remington Rhor, the main event. Tell us about this match. Talk to us, and what can we expect?
What you can expect is unfiltered violence.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. I mean, I love that you and Remington have been in each other's lives for so long, but like, are you looking at the same guy I'm looking at? Like, those aren't.
I call that man the weapon of war. He is a walking siege machine. There's no doubt about it. This dude is all guts and violence and blood and carnage and destruction. And that's great.
I was going to let you know that those scars on his body, those aren't beauty marks, my friend.
No, definitely not. And, the fact that me and him have grown up, and, I mean, since itty bitty, 4 and 5 years old together, and we have fought like brothers. I mean, all of our first wrestling experiences are together. All of our first, just growing up in this industry as fans and then eventually as wrestlers. And we've taken separate paths in this industry. Remington is out there doing the damn thing. He's traveling to Japan. He's in all these deathmatch tournaments. He is a bona fide superstar. But I'm going to show him why the Prodigy Aaron Helms is the hardest hitting heavyweight Kansas has ever seen. See, a guy named Dan Adams, who, if you don't know, he's one of the best damn Kansas wrestling legends there's ever been. He once compared me to Hangman Bobby Jaggers. He said I reminded him just like him, and if he didn't know better, he'd have thought I was his damn son. And that is the biggest compliment to me, to get complimented like I am a guy like Hangman Bobby Jaggers, and I want to live up to that expectation. I want to be a hard-hitting heavyweight like Bobby Jaggers was, and I want people to know the name Aaron Helms. I want them to know that when you see an Aaron Helms match, you may not see a bunch of flips and dives and tricks, but what you will see is physicality. And so if that's what you want, if you want hard-hitting, no pulling back, just no nonsense wrestling, and you want heavyweight clashes, look no further than the Prodigy Aaron Helms versus Remington Rhor. And if I get it my way, we're going gloves off. We're going to do that no disqualification because I want there to be a definitive winner. I don't want there to be a referee stoppage. I don't want there to be a count out. I want that to be mano a mano, man to man. Like, let's just do the damn thing. Remington and me have been itching for this fight for so damn long. And finally, we're at a position now in our hometown where we get to main event, and I want to show the world, I want to show Wichita, I want to show all of Kansas what Aaron Helms is all about.
Speaking
and if that
of
means going out of my comfort zone and bleeding, so be it. If that means we're going to get violent, so be it.
So speaking of that match, Aaron, the Chubby Buddy Studio, appreciate them jumping in here. They say, "What's up, everyone?" They had not a response, but a message from Remington Rhor for you. Were you able to?
So I've got to see bits and pieces of it. I have not got to check out the full interview yet, but I think the Chubby Buddies are a great podcast. Those guys did try and make them sound a little bad when they were interviewing him. They made it sound like I was just talking all this trash, and I did nothing but tell them that I love Remington Rhor. Like, at the end of the day, Remington Rhor will be a brother to me. We've always been friends. He's at my wedding. He is a person that I would call if I ever needed anything, and I hope he would call me if he ever needed anything. But when it comes into Saturday night next weekend and we step in between those ropes, the gloves are off, okay? I'm going to bleed him. I'm going to break him. And he may not want to have prepaid those flights to Japan, because when I'm done with him, he's going to be walking around in a walker, hoping, praying, God forbid he ever has to step into the ring with Prodigy Aaron Helms again.
I like it. Yeah, man. Wichita's going to get a hell of an event, hell of a main event. I'm excited for it. I wish I don't know, man. I may have to make the jog over to Wichita on the 23rd. Chase, what are you doing next weekend?
Nothing. Absolutely.
I think you guys should. You get down to Wichita and you see, like, hey, you may not know. You guys haven't been around a lot of Prodigy Aaron Helms events. And the last one you were, unfortunately, I got cheap shotted by those SOBs from Chancla Violence, old Angel de Paz and Bruisador Valencia. But, since Bruisador wanted to hit me in the head with a freaking folding chair last time, you didn't really get to see the opportunities or the cool things that Aaron Helms can do. This is unadulterated violence right here, baby. I am going to break Remington Rhor. I'm going to keep repeating that for you guys so you just know how damn serious I am. I am red, white, and better than him. Point blank, period. The fact of the matter is, people have been sleeping on the Prodigy Aaron Helms for the last 3 years, ever since I lost the XWE Heavyweight Championship, and then, unfortunately, I lost my tag team partner from the American Way. People have felt like, where is Aaron? Where is the Prodigy? What is he doing? Like, I'm floundering. The American Way was one of the all-time greatest tag teams of Kansas wrestling, and unfortunately, with the passing of Bubba Sutton, that came to an end. But that doesn't mean the Prodigy Aaron Helms came to an end. That doesn't mean hard-hitting heavyweight Kansas action came to an end. And that sure as shit doesn't mean that I'm not going to come to Wichita, Kansas and beat the ever-living piss out of my best friend, Remington Rhor.
I like it.
You brought up Chancla Violence from the last Leavenworth show, and you kind of spoke to it a little bit earlier. November 4th, the next time you guys come to Leavenworth, you were in the ring and you challenged Matt Stockdale, who was there front row watching your match. Tell us, just kind of shift gears into that match a little bit, and tell us the story behind your decision to get into the ring or grab the microphone and challenge him to a match.
Absolutely. Who the hell would I be if I call myself the hardest hitting heavyweight and I don't challenge the other hard hitting heavyweights? So put it on notice. If you are a heavyweight in Kansas, whether that's Blade or Matt Stockdale or Kuda or Jason Jones or any of these other heavyweights, if you're a heavyweight in Kansas and you think that I'm not going to try and fight you, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. The Prodigy Aaron Helms is here to prove that he is the best heavyweight the state has ever seen.
I like it. Chase and I definitely are going to be there for that one, so that's going to be an exciting event. That's in Leavenworth, Kansas, November 4th. You can buy tickets. Do you have the website, HCW website to order the
so
tickets?
you can go to the Facebook.com, Facebook. So it's Heartland Championship Wrestling. You can look us up. We're the blue logo. Or it's www.facebook.com/HCWLive23. And that'll lead you right to our page. I believe we do have the tickets already online. I'm not sure if they're already online for Leavenworth, but I know they're definitely online for September 23rd for Air Capital Brawl, and you do not want to miss that event.
Yes. For anybody confused, it is facebook.com/HCWLive23. And it is one of the top posts. It will take you out. It'll take you to the checkout square site, and you can buy your tickets there. It is a 3-hour drive from Kansas City, and Josh and I were there firsthand, front row, if you will. Not front row, but you understand. We were there for.
You were right in the mix of it.
Yes, in HCW's inaugural event, Summer Showdown, and it's going to be amazing. Chubby Buddies here wanted to just clarify. They said no trash was ever said. Words were said that may think you're biting off too much to chew. Remington agreed. You're not a bad guy, just a man on a mission. And he said the only trash talk ever said was calling out his mental preparation. The Prodigy was a great guest, and we only wanted you to express yourself. Brawn meets blood.
I appreciate that you're trying to save face here, Chubby Buddies podcast. That's okay. I can deal with you guys in person any day that you want to get in the ring with Prodigy Aaron Helms too. I'll break you like I'm going to break Remington next weekend. But to say that we didn't try and position it like fake news media that you are, you want to try and incite some extra violence between me and Remington. Well, the fact of the matter is, where you may have gotten Remington all hyped up and extra violent and ready to go, I've been ready. I've been ready since the moment I was born. And yeah, I took some time and I did some other things. I was backstage helping out. I was getting the show ready. I was doing the logistics. Hell, I was doing commentary with Rusty Rex and freaking Renee, the Night Owl, and just doing all the different tasks that they were ever asking me, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to do my damn job, and my job next weekend is to beat the piss out of Remington Rhor, and that's what's going to happen. Guaranteed. Bank on it.
I like it. Aaron, why don't you talk to us about some bookings and ventures that you got going on over the next few weeks?
Yeah, so for the next couple weeks, you're really going to see me primarily focused with Heartland Championship Wrestling, because that is a brand I'm helping, launch off the ground here. So we're really trying to get the boots on the ground and get that up and running before you're going to really see me out and about doing too much other stuff. Now, if you follow my pages, you may see some other just nonprofit type stuff as we head into the holidays. I like to do a toy drive coming up. So, and I think we are going to be doing a food drive in November. Those are big things that are important to me, and using wrestling as an outlet to give back to the community is something I'm very passionate about. So definitely be on the lookout for that, guys. As we do head into the holidays, we're going to be doing some stuff just to give back to the community. But I'm going to be really bootstrapping some of those things and putting a lot of the work in there. As far as other bookings, it's going to be just Heartland coming up. So just looking for those Heartland dates, unless we can get the XWE situation rectified, where I can get back on some of their some of their shows. Right now, it's just been a matter of lining up the dates to where it makes sense for us, because I am leaving the country for a little while after my bout with Remington. I'm going to be going on my own little vacation and enjoying my sweet victory. So, doing that. But, just keep an eye out on the Prodigy Aaron Helms page and the Heartland Championship Wrestling page. A lot of cool stuff going to be coming up on there. A lot of great, exciting events, both in the Wichita area and in Leavenworth, and some new cities that are still yet to be announced.
Absolutely.
Yep. So is there a spot other than at the events where we can buy merchandise, Aaron Helms merchandise?
Yeah, so if you guys are wanting any of the American Way t-shirts or the Prodigy Aaron Helms Red, White, and Better Than You t-shirts, you can get that online at prowrestlingtees.com/theprodigyhelms. And you can also go to my Facebook page, and I think it's linked there as well. But other than that, if you message my Facebook page, I am very good about shipping out any items that you may want. I've got cups, koozies, t-shirts, all sorts of stuff. So we do get that, right out to you and get it mailed to you directly. I do offer bulk order discounts. So if any of our military are watching, last year I had a guy who ordered 45 shirts for his group over in Iraq. So I did get that sent over to him. Just make sure we get that in time so I can get it to you by Christmas, because I know if you're overseas and stuff right now, it does take some extra time. So just message me and I will, do whatever it takes to get you your product. And if you buy multiple items, then I'll send you like a signed 8x10 or whatever as a thank you, because I do appreciate all my fans. I appreciate all of Kansas wrestling fans. This is the true definition of like a non-essential industry. So it's one of those things where we would not be here doing what we do without you guys. And it's so important that you guys are supporting us and showing up to shows and, being loud and rowdy and just having fun. And when you guys quit having fun, I quit having fun. So for all the fans watching, just thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys mean the world to me. And, we're excited to see you at Heartland.
Aaron, where can everybody find the Prodigy Aaron Helms on social media?
Yeah, so my it's at the Prodigy Helms. So and you'll find me across every single platform that way.
There you go.
Fantastic.
We greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this interview with us. It was a great episode.
Absolutely, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on here. And thank you guys for watching the I-70 Hot Tag with your friend, the Prodigy Aaron Helms. Hopefully I can make the intro, but
well, what we'll do, we already had that set up. What we'll do is we'll have you full center screen, and we'll have you do that again, completely in character. And this is the Prodigy Aaron Helms, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag. And then, you'll be in the intro next week.
All right, sounds good.
So you can start as soon as you get full screen.
This is the Prodigy Aaron Helms, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
I like it. Aaron, we greatly appreciate you taking the time tonight to do the show with us.
Thank you, guys.
And I don't know. Maybe you might see us next weekend. We'll see.
I hope to. Remember, guys, tickets are $12 at the door for general admission, $15 for premium admission, which gets you the extra VIP match, and then $35 for VIP. We got some pretty cool stuff lined up for our VIPs. So just make sure you guys are there for Wichita, support Kansas wrestling, and just support the Midwest here, guys. The Heartland area is, it's a booming. So thank you guys for what you do. Thank you to all the fans who are watching. And Matt Stockdale, if you're still on the Facebook Live watching, you better get in the gym and start working out, buddy, because I'm going to beat the piss out of you come November 4th. We'll see you guys. Have a great rest of your night.
All right, man. Have a good night. All right.
That was the Prodigy Aaron Helms, everybody. Was definitely not short of any words, if you will.
No.
Kept the chubby buddies active in the chat. Appreciate those guys joining in. Those guys, their podcast, they do a little bit of everything, but just because of their involvement with XWE and HCW and Billy Simmons, they've been dipping in more into that wrestling scene over there, and they do really good. So got to catch a little bit of that Remington Rhor interview myself, and so definitely check out Chubby Buddies. Guys, this is where we part for about 5 minutes, the 5-minute intermission. If you guys haven't, go get yourself a drink, go use the restroom. Make sure you watch the intermission video though, because
There's a lot of great stuff in it. It's what the went.
A lot of great stuff in there, including our main event sponsor, Big Daddy's Donuts. So, Josh, you got anything before we go to break?
I do not.
Fantastic,
we
sir.
will see you guys in 5 minutes.
Let's go. Who's a fighting champion, huh? Who's everywhere defending his championship. Let's go. Who's opponent? September 30th. World Challenge. Doesn't have a point. But I am going. Who's the way you want to step up? Step up. Who's going to step up? Step up. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. Step up. Step up. Step up, step up. No, man, I'm good. I'm just training my guys. But we're always up for the challenge. My students are always ready. Little one. No, step up, step up. Tick tock, tick tock. Prince, huh? You got a deal, coach. See you guys on 30.
Nice little brief walk this afternoon, thinking about what I have coming up, and I've realized, Stack Draper, for the first time ever, you go one-on-one with Gary J. I know what you're thinking. Your historians are going, wait, you guys have been in the ring one-on-one before. Now, that was a different version of me. That was Jay Lutz. He would drink under the table, go to the bar with the boys, have a couple bevs. It's a lot different now. Stack, we're not that much different. You're very self-made, and you're very self-aware. You look like $1 billion. Now, on the other hand, I'm very self-made. Everything I have in professional wrestling is because all I do is journey and grind. September 30th, you're going to look straight into these eyes and realize, oh boy, I'm in over my head. And at the end of the night, you'll be counting the bullets.
Welcome back to the I-70 Hot Tag. Appreciate everybody staying with us and hanging out. Yeah. Pretty cool mid-show break there, guy.
That is what happens when you remember an hour and a half before the show starts that you didn't do the mid-show break and you rush through it. You forget to change the audio. So,
well, at least you remembered the show.
You're right. You're right.
I almost forgot about it.
Oh man, yes.
Had to remind myself when I got home from work. I was like, oh shit, it's Thursday.
Yep.
Even though, like, while I was driving around, I saw the notification on my phone that the event had been created. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chase. This is Josh, the real Josh Elliott. We thank you for sticking with us. Just got done interviewing the Prodigy Aaron Helms. Had a lot to say about his opponent next weekend and his opponent on November 4th. It's got us both excited. Josh and I are already contemplating about making the drive to Wichita. So either way, it would be worth it. No matter if you are in the Wichita area or you're in the Kansas City area, it will be well worth it. Like I said, Josh and I had the privilege and the opportunity to be a part of HCW's inaugural event. Cannot say enough great things about that and the great talent that they're going to have there. And I'm sure we'll get an opportunity to kind of discuss that. One of the things not on the docket here, but wanted to bring up. There is. Hold on. Did you have anything to say before we get into this?
Nope. If you got something to add, which I have a feeling I know what this is going to be.
Yeah, I know. You fucking forget it every single time.
I don't know.
Every time.
No, we'll go ahead and do what you got, and then
I know
I got a huge shout out to Dean Houston to give before we get to the next topic.
I'm glad you said that because I saw that as well. So want to bring this up real quick. Come on. There we go. Boom. No, that is not it.
I mean, I saw it, but it was just not.
Yeah, I don't know.
There it is, right there.
Well, oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Boom. There we go. As you guys can see, the Casey's new night of pro wrestling Friday. The next evolution in Kansas City Pro Wrestling has its new night. Fountain City Pro has announced that they will be running on Friday nights starting in 2024. Obviously, stay tuned for that. Got our main guy, Hardsell. Look at the winged eagle fanny pack that he is wearing. That is dope.
That is pretty badass. I like it.
That is dope. So yeah, wanted to make sure that got on the docket tonight.
Yes.
Cover Kansas and Missouri Independent Wrestling. Why wouldn't we cover Kansas City's new promotion starting next year?
You're absolutely correct. And we have the last
Shame on
we
Josh.
have the last 2 weeks, I think it was. They had a teaser last week and they announced it this past what was that, Tuesday?
Yes.
So yeah, Friday nights, man. It's gonna be cool. Cannot wait for that. We've got, speaking of Dean Houston, hooking us up with some results for the last New Breed show, which happened on the 9th of September.
Correct.
So
that is correct.
We were going to jump right into the, we'll get into that in a minute. I got the graphics ready. So you have this as well, Chase?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I don't have to read this whole thing. We can go back and forth. First match.
I'll let you do it anyway.
Burt Cameron versus the Smoking Ace, Luke Langley, which the match was interrupted by Dredd Roberts, with Scott Hansen from St. Joe, comes out to help him. and then they ended up turning it into a tag team match. So the singles match is now a tag. It is Burt Cameron and Handsome Hansen versus Luke Langley and Dredd Roberts. And Hansen takes the win for Burt Cameron. So that is how the night started out. First and second match. So
yes, the third match, we've seen the promos leading up to it, all the hype leading up to it. The New Breed television champion El Diablo taking on Frodo the Ghost, and your New Breed Wrestling television champion, Frodo the Ghost. A huge shout out to Frodo, man. Was a part of Team Forge, was Team Ambition, coming out of there, obviously trying to work his way around, the Missouri scene and the Midwest scene as much as he can, and making a mark here in New Breed Wrestling. So,
Yep, he's doing some great work. He does some work down in Cape as well. And it's kind of cool to see New Breed and I believe it was Cape where they were running like mixed promos with each other, like those at that stadium or at the school, bleachers or whatever that was there. I think that was originally filmed for Cape or MMWA, one of those.
Something like that.
So yeah, huge shout out to Frodo. The next match featured a women's title match. And I caught the last end of this, Dean. You always go live for Shooter Shailen's matches. Shooter Shailen defended her women's title against Nadia White. I didn't understand what happened. And no winner, and the title is vacant. So the winner's undecided. Shailen had the title for 466 days. So she was the inaugural women's champion. So she's the only one to hold that title.
That's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
A 466 day reign as champion, and it ends in a no contest, and the title is vacant. That's wild. That's crazy. Yeah. That's odd. I don't know why anybody would do that. No, I mean, if somebody paid money to see your champion defended, I think that there should be a clear-cut winner. And if champion's advantage, if the champion didn't lose it, then the champion should keep it. That's just weird. That's odd. That's crazy. I don't understand that. That makes no sense. Somebody explain that to me like I'm 5. Please, somebody write it down or make a video or demonstrate it to me or something.
Draw a picture for us. Let us know.
Yes.
Draw a picture. How that makes sense. But I was really
primary colors, please.
I was really looking forward to, because we have Shooter Shailen on in a couple weeks. I was looking forward to getting that same, visual of her holding that title up to the screen as she did over a year ago on the show, the same belt, the same title reign. And now it's vacant. It's sitting in the New Breed offices. So
yeah.
Yeah. So that title reign is ended,
listen, if nothing neater Derek Teeter is listening, this time it's Chase, and Chase wants nothing neater Derek Teeter to explain to him why the title is vacant if there's no winner. That's weird. That's odd. Strange. It's weird.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We should have nothing neater Derek Teeter on the show so he can explain himself. Anyway, next match, sir.
Next match. Sorry, my phone is locked now, so now I have to unlock my phone. Next match, the Iceman versus Hard Luck Hal Rogers in a 4-corner strap match, and Hard Luck Hal Rogers wins. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Well,
that's just because Hard Luck Hal Rogers is not a fan of the I-70 hot tag. So.
He's not. But he finally got the Iceman to complete a match. He has left the last 5 or 6 matches that he's been booked in, including the one I went to Sedalia back in May against Joe Helms. So
he left.
He did. He just straight up left. Joe Helms beat the shit out of him, and he's just like, I'm out, and just walked out and got count out. And that's how he's ended a lot of his matches. So that's why they had the strap match. They were strapped together.
I love it.
So
I love it.
All right, in the main event, I saw the promos for this one. Speaking of nothing neater, we had a special guest referee, which was Cowboy Bob Orton, Dr. Ison and Danny Stratos with Nadia White took on nothing neater Derek Teeter and his surprise tag team partner, the Silverback Joe Helms. And this was for the New Breed Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Obviously, Private Practice has held the titles for quite a while. But this match ended with New Breed Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Derek Teeter, the Commissioner, and Joe Helms. So,
all right, I guess that's fair. I guess I'll let nothing neater Derek Teeter slide for now on his explanation about the Shooter Shailin match. Because he was prepping to win the tag team titles. That's fine. But it's still crazy and it's still weird. Odd.
Yeah.
Strange.
So, keeping on the New Breed subject, they have a new event coming up in 2 days. New Breed Wrestling presents September 16th, 2023. It's a live TV taping. You're going to see the Top Guns there, Slammer, Austin Muitalo, obviously Big Joe Helms, Frodo, all the big players at New Breed, Dr. Ison, obviously can't forget him. El Diablo.
You can forget Dr. Ison. It's very easy.
You're right. But yeah, they're that's this weekend in Sedalia. So they're back in Sedalia at that same place, Liberty Convention Hall, which was a phenomenal venue for wrestling. So go check them out. And for that match, or for that card, Lord Ateyu, probably mispronounced that, with Money Mike Pettis taking on Burt Cameron in a no DQ match.
Nice.
I like it.
Red James wants to know when you branching off and doing your own show.
Every other week.
When your 2 front teeth grow back.
Ooh, there it is.
There you go.
Red James says Burt Cameron's going to win that one. Yes, HCW.
Yes.
So we talked about it a little bit with Aaron Helms. If you get a VIP for $15, you're going to get a VIP, an extra match, and it's going to be I believe the extra match is this one. The Rebel Hearts taking on Club Corpse.
Yes.
So this is going to be the pre-show match here.
Yes, I would also assume that's going to be the VIP match because it says early access exclusive.
You are absolutely correct.
Cool. Yeah, man. Club Corpse. That's a weird duo. Yes. We saw them against the little caveman guy.
Yes, Cargar.
Yes. At HCW's inaugural event. And I wouldn't want to be in the ring with those 2 guys.
No. But the Rebel Hearts pulling double duty on this evening. And in the main show, they're going to be stepping into the ring with ACFC and Valencia Epos, the returning Valencia Epos. So
yes,
Angel has recovered from his toe stub, so he'll be back in action.
Absolutely. Very interesting. It'll give ACFC a little bit of an opportunity. Obviously, they're going to have to worry about the Rebel Hearts as well, but it will give Austin and Tommy Too Good an opportunity to get a little bit of redemption on Valencia y Paz, considering the fact that they tried to attack them after that match at Summer Showdown. So,
Yep. What else? What's next here? TAPW, Traditional American Pro Wrestling.
Junction City Show.
Yes.
Kuda's going to be there, as we saw the promo in the mid-show break.
Yes, Kuda will be in Junction City, Kansas. He will be defending his XWE title, not at this show. He's actually defending it later this month in XWE against Ramon Nui. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, from TAPW. He's a student there, so that should be a great match. And Kuda is going to show up at TAPW, so I'm excited to see who he's going to wrestle, because he is definitely going to make his presence known. Speaking of presence known, the national national lightweight championship, Ray Leon is going to defend against Chance Kerrigan, and this is happening in Junction City for TAPW.
Let me ask you a question. Look at Ray Leon and tell me what Journey Pro wrestler Ray Leon looks like.
A Journey Pro?
Yep. Think early Journey Pro.
When I saw this picture, I was kind of looking at him like he looked like somebody, but I'm not.
When I tell you,
is that Anthony Gutierrez? It's not Anthony Gutierrez.
It is. It's shark bait.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you hear it and you finally like, so here's a funny story, pulling the curtain back a little bit. Hoodie told him that, and it hit me like a fucking brick as soon as Hoodie said it. Hoodie was like, yo, like you look so much like my friend Sharkbait. And as soon as he said, I was like, Sharkbait? And he was like, yeah. And then I looked at Ray and I was like, oh my fucking God, he does.
Right when you said that, and I started looking, and you're like, the early days, and it immediately hit me, Anthony Gutierrez. Yep. So
yeah. And like, it's so funny too, because they both like have a real strong MMA background.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No, it was funny. As soon as he said it, I was like, holy shit, he does.
Yep.
Let's get a picture of Sharkbait up on the screen real quick.
Right.
See if we can do that.
Sharkbait. You're gonna have to, he may not be as easily. Let me go to the.
No, he is. He is.
Is he on Facebook or Insta?
No, just Google. Just Google Anthony Gutierrez Sharkbait. Make sure you put Sharkbait in there somewhere, and I promise you, he'll pull right up.
Anthony Gutierrez Sharkbait images. Okay, let's see. Try to find one that would.
I was gonna say crop his hair out. He's got like a little bit of hair now, doesn't he? Or
yeah, it's kind of what I'm trying to find one from like a Journey.
He used to go like, he wouldn't go all the way bald like Ray does. He would go like almost skin. But
yeah. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot with hair. None of them's gonna be.
It will be. Pull it up anyways.
I clicked the image and it brings me to a picture of Jerry Wyatt. There it is. Let's see, share screen.
Fucking no matter what we do, we can't get rid of Jeremy Wyatt.
This one right here.
Boom.
And then can I share this one at the same time? Probably not.
Probably not.
But there's Ray Leon. And there's Sharkbait.
Yeah, dude. That's a goofy looking picture of Sharkbait, but still, it's
pretty close. You take the hair off of Sharkbait, yeah, it's definitely yeah. I see.
Like I said, man, as soon as it was said, it just It just hit me. So, and then when you had the picture up there, I was sitting there thinking again, I was like, God damn, he looks like shark bait. And I was like, I don't know if I ever told Josh that. So,
nope.
Anyways, shake bait. Glory Pro Ascend aired tonight.
It did a couple hours ago.
Yes.
Had 3 matches again. Looks like possibly matches. I know the main event happened at the last show, but here's just kind of run through the matches. The A1 Zero Gravity Championship, Dan the Dad defended against Shaza McKenzie. So that's how episode 2 kicked off. Match 2, the big strong boy Ethan Price and Moses the Deliverer taking on Culture Shock.
Yes.
And in the main event, which has been hell of a match to see, the grudge match, the build that's been building for a few months now, Jake Something and Warhorse settled their score in the main event here. So that's Ascend, man. I'm hoping, it's a lot of big names that we're seeing on Ascend. I'm hoping that they continue the trend of like maybe a main event, a big name main event. And then maybe we start seeing some students of the Forge come in and have a spotlight every once in a while on Ascend. I think that'd be kind of cool that's kind of how to introduce the St. Louis crowd and Midwest crowd to some of their younger talent that's coming out of the school. So
absolutely. Hey, what do you think the chances that Red James's Facebook got hacked by Matthew Holland?
Holy shit. 1000% that is Matthew Holland.
Agreed. We thought we banned him, but
yeah.
Red James was like, nope, I'm going to give that kid my account. Speaking of Red James, Red James is kind of synonymous with specific Kansas promotions, one of which being XWE. So Saturday Night Showdown. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we've got. They've already announced a few matches. One I'm extremely excited for. We're gonna see Chris Vale taking on Ray Leon in a United Liberty Championship match with Mike James as the special enforcer. So
who?
Take that back. It's a non-title match. My bad. I thought this was for the title, but I think Mike James is actually the number 1 contender. I think that's what it was. So
who?
Mike James.
Who?
Mike James.
Back then.
Another match of this one, man, is Calvin Aldridge making his return to XWE. Haven't seen him in a little while. Taking on a mystery opponent. Not sure who they've got planned here. This is whoever it is, it's going to be a phenomenal match because I absolutely love Calvin, everything he does. We've seen a lot of him in KCXW and XWE as well. But
yes, agreed.
Check this one out, though. I don't know if he's ever wrestled in XWE. He might have. But Clay Huna coming out to XWE.
Versus Dutch McLean.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And Clay Huna got, I don't know. I haven't seen him since, it's been a year since I've seen Clay Huna in person, but he's got a different look to him than he did at XWE, at KCXW last October. So
yeah, I don't know if that's a recent picture of him or not, though.
It may not be.
Yeah,
that might be why he looks different. But
yeah.
So good for him, and I'm excited to see him venture out into the Kansas area. And as we talked about earlier, Kuda is going to defend his title against TAPW student Ramon Nui. It's a crazy random title defense. You got I'm not gonna. But Ramon Nui getting that title shot. I don't know if he's wrestled XW before, but he is a student of Luis from TAPW. So that's the 4 matches so far, and I'm sure there'll be a few more to be trickling in here before that September 30th date. So go check them out. That's Salina, Kansas.
Yes. Tri-States Wrestling. They're doing a Midwest tour next month.
Yeah.
Next month is October, dude. That's crazy. Simon Gotch, Franco Varga, Luke Langley, Warhorse. And you see the 4 dates down there at the bottom. They've got October 5th in Palmyra.
I think that's how you say it.
Chillicothe, St. Joseph, and Gladstone. Now, I know 1 or 2 of those dates you and I looked at. That one in Gladstone is at 2 p.m. Is that a Sunday?
It is.
Oh, don't like that.
I think you already checked that they're out of town that week.
Yeah, they are, but do they play at noon?
I think they do.
Yeah.
Hey, and I think I think at the time you said you don't care, but you're starting to care. Is it the Jets maybe, or I can't remember who you said they played, but yes, I will be.
If it's the Jets.
Yeah, I will definitely be going to Gladstone regardless if Chase joins me or not.
Dude, let's go to the St. Joe one. It's Saturday at 7 p.m.
I think I had something going on Saturday. I have to check.
That's stupid.
It is pretty dumb. But yeah, I've got
it's against the Vikings at 3:25. So this event's going to be in the middle going on in the middle of it. Who does that?
Tri-State Wrestling on a 4-day wrestling tour.
Gee, mini Christmas.
I don't know. Stormy Renee, the mathematician, or the math magician, I guess.
What do you got going on the 7th?
As of right now, I've got just my kids' soccer games. So
that's ridiculous.
But
you've got 3 fucking kids. You can skip one of their soccer games.
You can skip a Chiefs game and watch it on your phone too.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Take me to the event with you, and I'm sitting here watching my phone while the Chiefs play. What are you doing Friday, October 6th?
Working.
No, you're not. At 7 p.m. on a Friday?
Chillicothe is what, an hour and a half?
So
I guess. Huh?
So is St. Joe.
Yeah, St. Joe's, but yeah, it's an hour and a half to get to the Pepsi plant from my house. So I don't know. We can talk. I think I'm for sure going to Gladstone no matter what. And then if we end up going, you gotta also remember, man, we got because AEW is coming to Kansas City on the 10th, 2 days after Gladstone. So we're going to that. I'm pretty sure there's another event happening in October as well. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Definitely debating on which Tri-State Wrestling show to go to. Simon Gotch, Luke Langley, Warhorse, Stormy Renee. It's going to be a phenomenal event. All 4 of them are. So it's kind of cool. They're doing right across the state 4 nights in a row.
Yes. Agreed.
So,
agreed. Speaking of the state and one of its best promotions on the other end, St. Louis Anarchy, Canvas of Dreams announced one of my personal favorites, Mad Dog Connolly versus Craig Mitchell.
Yes, this card is shaping up to be as are most Anarchy cards. I can't miss if you're in the area. But
I'm very curious to find out how did Red James shave twice, or did he shave his face, take a shit, and then shave his ass? I'm confused. I don't understand why he why he shaved again after he shit.
Literally shaved, shit, and shaved.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, Anarchy is every event can't miss. If you're in the area, I mean, this one's happening in Granite City. So this is a different venue. And it's happening, I'm 90% sure, October 12th is a Thursday evening. So
Yeah, because Friday the 13th, right?
Yep. So this is a Thursday event.
This is a Thursday event. Wow.
Brings you, remnants of the old Journey Pro days when they used to run on Thursday nights.
Yeah, but I don't. A Thursday night, we're going to be live for the hot tag, unless we go do the hot tag live in Granite City, Illinois.
We could.
Yeah, Illinois. Sorry.
Yeah,
Just
there's no
a habit,
S.
but
There is an S. You just can't hear it.
I know, but yeah. So he meant to say showered. He meant to say shaved, shit, and showered, but for whatever reason, he shaved twice.
So you're telling us that you listen to the I-70 hot tag in the shower.
I don't hate it. I got a friend. We have a friend who likes to drink beer in the shower.
We do.
Actually, here's a funny thing. That's a common thing, I guess.
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't see the appeal. I really don't.
I don't either. I had some girl tell me that you haven't lived until you've had a shower beer. And I was like, what? And then I had like a couple other people have told me that, like, besides, Kyle, he was obviously the first one that told me, but yeah. Going back to Canvas of Dreams, guys. Canvas of Dreams, you're going to see Gary J take on one of his, Broderick shower beer. Dean Houston says, I have it. So, I'm telling you, man, we were ready when one of our friends said that he drinks beer in the shower. Or actually one of our other friends who was roommates with him was like, yo, homeboy drinks beer in the shower in the morning. We were like, yo, time for an intervention.
Right.
Like, this dude's not even 30 yet, and he's drinking beer in the shower. Like, we have to do something. And then like I said, now I hear it all the time. And I'm like, whoa, that is crazy. I am going to admit that I am completely, not completely, but slightly intrigued to know what the feeling of scrubbing my ass and drinking beer feels like. But I'll live to live that dream another day. So, but yes, Gary J taking on one of his heroes, one of his dream matches at Canvas of Dreams. Everything else they've got going on. A great man or a great wrestler, even better man by the name of Evangelistico. Once said on this show that if you can
what?
If you can make the pilgrimage to St. Louis Anarchy, it is well worth it. I am very interested to see Anarchy at a place other than Spalding, just because Spalding is amazing. But I would be very curious to see where they're holding this event now. So may have to make another trip, August 12th. I don't know.
I mean, August 12th was
October 12th. My bad.
There you go.
As soon as you said it, I was like, wait a second. Did I say August? But that is it, sir. I think that's all we have this week.
That's all we got, man. That's all we got. You want to run down the rest of the September shows coming up?
I would absolutely fucking love to. September 16th, Traditional American Pro Wrestling in Junction City, Kansas. Also on September 16th, New Breed Wrestling presents live pro wrestling, a TV taping. Kurt Gannon, Austin Uitalo will be there. September 23rd, Heartland Championship Wrestling presents Air Capital Brawl in Wichita, Kansas. Also on September 23rd, Cape Championship Wrestling after the fall. KLD and No Role Models are scheduled to be there. September 24th, Glory Pro, Fear of the Dark, Jake Something, Max the Impaler, Calvin Tankman are all on that poster advertised. So hopefully we'll see them. And then CSW, A Glitch in the Matrix on September 30th. And then also on September 30th, Saturday Night Showdown 8, XWE. A bunch of just majorly packed events in the remainder of September, guys. If you haven't, go check out some local wrestling. It's going to be pretty cool. So
now there's an idea.
Yes.
I kid.
Absolutely.
I kid. Next week we've got Big Country.
Why don't you try that out on Saturday night?
What? Oh,
drinking at your kid's soccer game.
They have two games 4 hours apart on this Saturday. I'm like, who fucking made this schedule? Anyway, the rest of them are all close together, so we should be fine. Your microphone's jacking up a little bit.
Is it in Raymore?
There we go. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at Rec Park. So next week, guys, we've got Big Country, Matt Stockdale, going to go one-on-one with the Prodigy Aaron Helms, our guest tonight on November 4th at HCW in Leavenworth.
That's if Aaron Helms makes it out alive against Remington Rhor. Hey, I don't doubt Aaron Helms at all. And, we appreciate him joining the show. But, bro, like, Remington Rhoor's a different cat. I don't know, man.
He is.
I don't know.
He's a beast, and it's going to be a hell of a main event. It really is. So
it is.
Next week, there is there's about a 50-50 chance you're going to have the full I-70 hot tag on here. So Red James, unfortunately, there's a possibility the real Josh Elliott won't be there. But
where are you going to be?
I've got some family deal to do on Thursday night, but it might be done by the time it starts. So I'm not 100% sure it's going to be there. But anyway, I may be there, I may not. So I'll let you know closer to the date. But we're going to be watching on Monday a Matt Stockdale match. So tune in for the pit stop as we do every Monday night. And other than that, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Brody, Dean Houston for hooking us up with New Breed, Red James, as always. We had Tyler Cooley in here for a little bit, Chubby Buddies. Dick Richards was in here for one comment, talking in trash as he always does. Aaron Wallace, all that good stuff. So,
yep.
Appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. With that being said, my name is Chase, CR Media, right there. Josh, the real Josh Elliott. And as always, goodbye night.